In this video, we're going to dive into the top tools and free websites you can use to help speed up your metal guitar songwriting. So I'm going to go through these step by step, showing examples of a song here and how it works with the other tools. And hopefully you can take away some of these if you haven't learned them before. Maybe you get some inspiration to help create some more interesting ways to write music and help speed up that workflow. So the first one here we're going to dive into, and it's going to be Guitar Pro. I know this is a paid software, which is a tablature software, but we also have a free alternative now that's actually pretty good. If you haven't used it already, it's by MuseScore. If you are brand new to Guitar Pro and you just want to get started and you're not quite sure how to use it and you want to input the notes and beats, I do have a quick guide here on the channel that you can check out. And I go further into depth here, but in this video, I'm just going to cover the basics that you kind of do with this software and how you can use it with the other tools we're going to share in this video. So with Guitar Pro, obviously you can write riffs. So if you write on your guitar, you can translate that into a transcription so you can remember them. I find it very helpful where you can just build upon a song, remember parts so you don't forget them. But also it has some really great songwriting abilities that you might not be aware of. The first one is really helpful here. So if you go up to the top of the toolbar and select Tools, then select Scales, it's going to bring up this menu here. I use this tool more than anything, and it has like every scale that you can select here, going from the major scale, the minor scale, and all the different modes. So down here we have the interval section as well. So you can select the key note. So you can select what note. For example, for this song, and the example we're going to be showing throughout this video, going to be for F Aeolians. You can see below that section there, we have all the notes of the scale, which is super helpful. The fretboard gives you all the notes of that scale up on the fretboard. Now, the way that you would do this, if you're writing these sections, you could go through the software here, and you can see here, if I click on the note there, you could just literally go through it and you could just click the chords or notes and they're all going to line up in that key. For an example, if I play a section here, you're going to hear and see on the fretboard, it all lining up in the minor scale. Now, some other awesome tricks that you can do, especially if you're in the songwriting process and you want to translate this to your DAW, obviously you can export the files here. So if I wanted to select the MIDI here of the guitar, so we'll pick the right guitar here, you can just hit these little headphones and that will solo the track. So you don't have to delete any of the tracks. Just go up to the top here and then export, and you'll have different options here for all different file types, PDF. I'm going to hit MIDI. So all you need to do is open up your DAW of choice. I'm just using Reaper here. It could be any DAW that you want, and just drag in your guitar profile like that. Great thing about it as well, you just drag it in. It's going to add any of the BPM or time changes within the song. So you can add in any MIDI basses if you have any of the programs from Submission Audio, or if you have Odin or anything like that, you can add them in here and you'll be able to play back your audio. One trick you may not be aware of with the Guitar Pro is you can export audio files as a DI, which is really cool because it can give you an audio DI. So you can use that to play with plugins if you want to try a different sound, just to kind of get a rough sound in your session on your DAW. Or if you want to have the audio file there lined up, so when you track, you can see how much in time you are when you're trying to punch in sections. So the way to do this in your session here is have your part that you want soloed. So this guitar part here with the little headphones is soloed. And if you go over to the right-hand side here, you'll see track. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we go into this one here. These are all the amp effects and pedal effects and everything that's making up the sound. So what we can do is we can actually get the DI just by turning off all the effects here. So, and just leaving the guitar there, and you can actually change what DI sound that you want. So this one's just on L Paul, which I'm guessing is just a Les Paul, but there's other presets so you can get like a Tele or whatever. You can experiment with these ones and see which one comes out better as a DI. So you can see here, this is the DI. So this is a great way, especially you can just now load up a plugin and it's going to read it here. So if we just load it up and press play, we're going to hear that plugin read that DI. So when you're punching in, you can see the timing there. So you can kind of see what the waveforms look like. So if you're punching in a section and you only want to punch in, like say this section, you can line up the audio tracks and see how in time you are. So it kind of speeds up editing, and I like that little trick there. As I said, you can also use a free alternative like MuseScore. So this one's 100% free. You can download the MuseScore I'll leave the links to everything in the description. They've been improving their guitar tablature software stuff. We can change it here. It's from standard, and you can see there's tab options here. So what we could do is we could just go to tab 6 string. I think there's a tab 7 string somewhere. So yeah, 7 string common or simple. So we'll click that one, and there we go. So now we're on a 7 string guitar tab. So the next one is called Hook Theory, and this is a website. It's a free website. You can pay for the tool, but it is free to use. The thing I'm using in this video is the free version of it. You can do all of this. I'm going to be showing you in this video. So let's dive into it. So you want to go to this website here. So this is the website here. It's called Hook Theory, and you can obviously buy the full version of it. But if you go to products here, you can see HookPad is the actual software they're going to be using. You can see here you've got all the different bars. So this top section here is going to be all the melodies that you can add in, and the bottom one is all the chords. So what you can do is you can go up to the top here. You can see it's got the beats, it's got the keys and everything, and the BPM. So what you can do is you can go up to this key section here. We've got it set to minor, and you can see we've selected F. It has some other advanced features like the parallel keys, relative keys, and all that sort of thing as well. But the great thing about it is you can see at the top here, it's got all the chords for the diatonic scale of whatever scale that you choose and whatever mode you choose. And you can set up here the duration of what they are. So what I'm going to show you here is how you could use this with these diatonic chords here. For example, if we take a look at this part of the song here, so it's in F minor still. So if we play from this part here of this riff, and what we can do is analyze it. So if we're trying to write this from scratch and we're trying to figure out what chords or notes we could use both of these tools together to figure out what sort of harmony that we want to create when we're trying to figure it out on the guitar, and using these softwares as well while we're writing. So this is the riff here. So if we take a look how you would work that out in Hook Theory, maybe you start off in Hook Theory and you kind of get the chords out that you want to see what they sound like, and experiment what sort of sounds in direction you could go with here. So if we take a listen, how this would start here is you could go through these chords here. You can see the diatonic chords up here. So on their own, that would sound like this just with the chords. So that doesn't sound too impressive, but you can build upon that, and that's how you would use this. So if we break it down and add the parts to mimic what we have in the Guitar Pro here, so you can use this section up here with all these little notes here. You can use those as melody notes, so you can work with them. So if I loop this section here, it's going to sound very similar to our Guitar Pro file here. And you can see what we've used here. We've got the F, so the F minor, so that's the 1. Then next we move on the 7 chord there, which is that E flat. We move on to the D flat there, and then we finish on that B flat minor. So all these notes here are in the key. So anything you click on here is going to be in the diatonic key there. So it's going to sound like this. So this is a really useful tool, especially if you're not near your setup. Maybe you're traveling somewhere on tour, or maybe you're just sitting in bed real late at night and you have a creative spark. You can just sit here on the web browser and literally just punch in chords. And the same thing, there's abilities as well to export them into MIDI and do all sorts of things. I think the premium version has some more options, but at least with the free version here, you can outlay some diatonic harmony for your songs and then translate them to whatever on your guitar, your instrument, or whatever software you're using. So it has this cool feature as well where it has this like database where it links to like a YouTube video. This is a Parkway Drive section of their song. It's only just it looks like it's the intro that it's got here. But the cool thing is if I hit play here, you're going to see it in real time with the music video, and it's going to show the chords and the melodies up here in this section and the piano. So you can see which ones that it's playing. So it's really cool. But apart from that, it does have an awesome feature on this website as well. That's called the cheat sheet. And it's a cheat sheet for scales and everything like that. So you can click on here. What it is, it's under resources, and you should be able to see key cheat sheet, and click on that one. It's going to take you to this page here. So whatever song or mode or whatever you're doing in your song, so you picked a scale, maybe you're playing like we are in F minor. So you can go find that here. So we look here, we go for the minor scale, find F minor. We can click on that. It's going to take us to this page here that's built. It has all the chords for that key there that you can select and play with here. And it's going to give you some inspiration. And there's also some common chord progressions, and you also download the MIDI of those chord progressions. This next one is called Fader, and it's like an AI tool. I think there's similar ones out there. This is the one that I've just used, and it can help you for extracting certain parts of songs that are already finished and trying to get some of the stems out of them. It's not 100% great, but it can be useful in trying to get some cover versions if you're trying to isolate some vocals for a cover version that you might be making, or a remix that you might be doing. Or another way to use it as well would be if your band sent you a demo and they only sent you a full track, not the multi-tracks or the stems. So you could actually take that back and extract, at least you'd be able to isolate some of the sections. So if you want to rewrite a section, you could try and take out the guitars that are already in there. So how it basically works is you just go to this stem section of the website here. So fader/stems. I take one of my tracks here and I drop it into the upload section here. You just got to wait for it to upload. So while it's uploading, the AI is just kind of analyzing it, trying to split it into different sections, and also working out the key that it might be in and the BPM. You can see it's split it up into different sections here. So we've got the keyboard, we've got a drum section. It looks like it's got a guitar section and the vocals. So this is my song here, and it's got the BPM right. It is 120 BPM. So we've got some vocals here about this part of the song here. So we're gonna see how well it isolates it. They are screaming vocals, and it is a heavy track that's really low as well. So this may be a challenge for the software. So each song may not work perfectly, but it can be a tool that you can use to help you out. With this song, it basically struggled in some parts. The drums actually sound not too bad isolated. The vocals struggled being quite low in the growls, but the higher screams, it seemed to pick it up a little bit better. So it's really going to depend on your use case. I think it's probably going to be better for clean vocals than singing. I've tested it with other songs as well, and the clean vocals is a little bit better, but something to use in your tool belt. So this next one is a drone tool. So it's a little keyboard here you can see up on screen. And the website's called dronetonetool.com. But this one's pretty cool for improvisation and trying to learn different things. It's a quick little handy tool to have instead of trying to create like a drone tone. So you can figure out like maybe you want to play in a certain key or expand your writing there. So if I hit a note here, and we'll give an example of just some improvisation, we'll see what comes out. The very last one we have here is called Indie Bubbler, and it's this website here, and it's like a metronome for practicing, which is really cool in itself. But a cool way to use it for writing purposes here is you can kind of input really quickly. It's just a free web browser tool as well. You can input all your notes here for your kicks or your snares or anything like that. Just get a basic rhythm going. The thing I like about it, it has this pie section here. And what you can do is you can use this as a guide. Maybe if you're trying to figure out the rhythms when you're practicing, you can play along with it. And you can see visually as well on this pie as it goes around. You can see here, this would be all the kicks on the outside here. So if you're like doing some sort of heavy riffs, you know, okay, I could do like 4 palm mutes here, another 4 palm mutes here, another 2 here. So in these gaps, I could potentially add some little rhythm parts, or you can kind of experiment however you want to kind of fill out those timing signatures there. You can customize it as much as you want by the time. There's also presets down here, and you can save it or import your own file as well. For that riff that we're using in the example earlier, this is the drum pattern that it was playing. I translated it to this software so you can see. So it sounds like this. It is limited, so you have to kind of figure out what the timing is here. For example, here, this kick drum here is a dotted eighth note. So in the program here, so basically to do that with the Indie Bubbler software, you can see here a dotted eighth note here, which would be this one here. So a dotted eighth is the value of 3 of the note behind it. So the great thing about it as well is you can customize these things here. So I got the kick here, I've got it on 16th notes. You can kind of change them as you like. So hopefully by watching this video, you can see by utilizing All of these tools, or some of these tools, they can definitely help speed up your workflow, especially the tools like Guitar Pro, where you can use the scales and harmony, knowing like hook theory like that, and using Guitar Pro with the tools and scales and the fretboard as well. Hopefully this video was helpful for you and you got some insight and maybe some new tools to try out. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, and check out more content on the channel to learn some more. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.